Hello, beautiful soul. I am so happy you are here. Strawberry Shift, remember, is about enthusiasm for love. And today is day 3 of Celebrate Compassion. Do you remember what compassion is? If you've watched the other videos, the basic definition of compassion is having an understanding of suffering. I like to say that compassion is a deep wisdom of pain. It's just really understanding. And when we have this deep wisdom of pain, when we have a deep wisdom of suffering and pain, we don't judge anymore. It's not something that you can force. It's not something that you can willpower. It's not as easy as just making a decision. Okay, I'm going to have compassion for this person. It can start with an intention. That's beautiful and that's wonderful. It does require effort. It does require, that's something that I've experienced myself, is it does require focus, some discipline. And we live in a culture that is void. I mean, it is lacking in compassion. So much so that we have forgot what it even is. So the first 7 days of the 21 of Celebrate Compassion is all about you, and it's all about cultivating that self-compassion. Today is a biggie, and I'm gonna warn you that it can bring up a lot of stuff. And it's also really important that we have this conversation. We can't go to some of the other topics that I'm so excited to have with you and for you to experience because they bring so much joy if we don't discuss this one. And the reason is because this one holds a lot of charge. This one holds a lot of pain. And as one of my teachers, Thich Nhat Hanh, if you haven't read or any of Thich Nhat Hanh's talks, or he's got some great messages on YouTube. I think he's probably been one of the most influential Buddhist monks. He's no longer with us physically, but man, his message lives on. And he talks also about this message that I'm gonna be sharing with you about being mindful in the body and unlearning a lot of what we've been taught in regards to the body. So today, day 3 is about this human body we're in, this human body. It's impossible to truly have that self-compassion and ultimately experience that self-love, because that's what I care about for each of you, is that you experience the self-love. It doesn't happen up here, right? It's not going to happen by watching these videos. It's not. You watching these videos, I'm like, okay, Mandy, I get that. And you've taken some notes, like, okay, that's nice. That's not where the magic's going to happen. The magic's going to actually happen for you when you go through these exercises. That's where the magic happens. Today is, let's talk about your body. And let's talk about your relationship with your body. Now, I'm not going to throw the kitchen sink at you. That would be unkind. And I'm all about kindness and I'm all about being gentle. So I do want to cover, there's 3 main areas that I like to work with clients in regards to their relationship with their body, because this is what's helped me heal with my body. And it's an infinite journey because our body is constantly changing, and the body is so beautiful and it's so powerful and magnificent. So the first one is realizing that we live in this fishbowl, especially in America. Oh my gosh. And especially if you're a woman in America. Oh my gosh. We are taught to hate our bodies. Yes, we are. So we need to first be aware and see all the signs, hear them, see them, and be like detectives where we're like, oh, yep, you're trying to teach me to hate my body. We need to unlearn. So here's the good news. We've been taught to hate our bodies. Guess what? We can unlearn it. And if you're a man watching, because I also welcome men, I know not a lot of men have been attracted yet to Strawberry Shift, but I do welcome men. And the sad truth is men have also been targeted. You might wonder, I mean, why is that? It's money and power. I know it's like cliche, but it's true. Think about it. If we loved our bodies, if we didn't care about growing old, we didn't care about the way we looked or anything, then we wouldn't pay all this money to look different. So if we hated our bodies and we wanted to look different, like I think about, like I have white pale skin. I have freckles. Did you know that in 2010, I paid $2,000 $2,000, I actually think, no, it was $2,500 to laser off my freckles, and it was painful. And I didn't have $2,500 to do that. I put it on a credit card. So I actually probably paid more because I paid interest. So not only I paid a lot of money, and it was over a period of time, and I looked really funny because it was like they had to come up, and it was like, and it was painful. It was like a hot rubber band hit my face. Why did I do that? I have freckles. That's how I was born. That's how I was made. Now I'm like, I just embrace it, you know? And I've had actually other dermatologists go, "Oh, Mandy, you want those removed?" I'm like, no, why would I want that removed? I'm sure you have your stories of stuff that you've done. I know my sister and I, we've had more, like, I'm short. My sister and I, we've struggled with like cellulite on our legs, and we paid over like $1,000 to have this woman go, "Rah, rah, rah," this machine on our thighs to try and get this, like, it didn't even work. We went every single week for like 6 weeks, and we paid $1,000, and it hurt, and we had to wear these like nylons. It didn't even work. And they wouldn't give us our money back because we were like, So yeah, before and after pictures, they look the same. I'm sure we all have our stories. So it's about, that's one, is we are taught to hate our bodies. Isn't it make sense that we don't feel good? Think about, like, if you're taught to hate someone, they're gonna feel it. In fact, there's been studies, experiences, research studies done that like if you were in the same room with someone and you think negative thoughts about them, they can actually feel it. So think about, like, our bodies, we're taught to hate. Like, I was taught to hate my freckles. And it's just recently that I've embraced that I have freckles. And oh yeah, I have pale skin. And I've also been taught to hate that. So I've done the tanning beds, the spray tans, which are so bad for you. All those toxins. Now I'm 46 and I finally have just like, I'm white, yo. You don't like it? That's your problem. But that's taken me a long time to get to that. And I still, like, even when I wear a dress and I see my white legs, sometimes I'm like, oh, is that not good? And it's part of the sickness. It's part of the software that's been downloaded because we've been so conditioned that this is how you're supposed to look. Why? Because there's money in it. And it's a powerful program. So to have self-compassion, this self-compassion is not just woo-woo, kumbaya, you just gotta love yourself and that's it. No, this is work. This is work. And this takes, like, I always forget where to point. This takes courage. I didn't mean to pick his nose. But this is why I have the lion, because you got to have courage. So I'm going to give you an exercise that is going to be the beginning process of that. I do want to recommend a book if you really want to break out of the matrix with this. But this is only if you want to break out of the matrix. If you don't want to break out of the matrix, if you want to stay in the matrix, do not get this book. I am like dead serious, because this book will break you out of the matrix. Once you read this book, you will not ever look at your body, look at other people's bodies, look at food the same, scales the same, ever again. You'll be ruined. They will not be able to brainwash you again the same. You will be not, I wouldn't say like totally in what's that word? Sometimes I have trouble pronouncing certain words. Impenetrable. That's not that. You'll basically be not like you can't be brainwashed, but it will really open your eyes to the truth. And it's by Meghan Crabby. I love Meghan Crabby. I hope to meet her one day because she's changed my life. And it's Body Positive Power. After I read that book, I threw away my scale and I never got a scale again. And I told my doctor never to tell me what I weigh. Don't ever tell me what I weigh, because I've suffered so much from being obsessed about a stupid number. Does anybody here, you relate? I look back on so many years of my precious life being in this marvelous body. And I just want to scream to all the women, like, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't know how many times I was like, I want to be 120 pounds. I'm like, screw that. So many of my 20s and 30s where I was beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I cried and I stayed home, or I was out, but I wasn't present because I was obsessing about a stupid number on a scale, because I was in a prison. I was in a prison cell thinking that I was not good enough because of a stupid number on a scale. Meghan Crabby, she was like, here, Mandy, I got the keys. You want them? You want the keys? You want to break out? And I'm like, yes, Meghan, give me the keys. And she's like, here's the keys. And I read her book, Body Positive Power, and I took the keys and got out. And what's interesting that I'll warn you is because I shared this book with some girlfriends at the time who were also obsessed with their bodies, and they were pissed at me. I'm not kidding. They were mad at me. I was sharing some things I learned from her book, and they were like, no, Mandy, blah, 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 blah. And I realized, oh, not everybody actually wants to break out of the matrix. And so I'm not kidding when I say, do you really want to? Because not everybody does. And that's something that I've had to learn. And I really do. And this has been part of my journey. I've had to learn that a lot of people are addicted to their suffering. And that's where they're at. And so that's why I only help people who actually want out. Because that's the only people that I can. Just like Meghan Crabby. I wanted out. I was like, Meghan! That's why there's the cliche, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So the second thing that is preventing us to heal is that we are taught not to trust our body to heal. We are taught to give our power away over to a doctor, or even worse, the government. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Think about it. When you get a cut on your finger, do you go, oh my God, there's a cut on my finger. What am I going to do? No, you go, oh, there's a cut on my finger. You know that your body's going to heal it. Even though there's a cut and you're bleeding, you know instinctively your body can heal it. So I know that's like a minor example, but we have forgotten that intuition, that knowing. I have a whole process to help you get back in touch with that intuitive knowing to trust your body, because we've been taught to break that trust. Because if we don't trust our body to heal, guess what? We give our power away, which is what? Our energy, because we're these energetic beings, and then we could be zombies and we could be controlled. So it's about unlearning that. The third thing that we've been taught is to not value rest. Rest, just peace, just nothing, just to sit and do nothing, sleep, pause, and rest. When an animal gets injured, what do? When an animal gets injured or sick, what do? They rest. They fast, they stop eating, and they isolate and they rest. Why? Because they know that is the key to their survival. We have been shamed, especially moms. They feel like, oh, I can't because I'm a mom, I can't do that. That is when it is vital to do that. So these are the things to unlearn now that you're aware. So today, to begin a baby step, this exercise may seem very weird or odd, but I would love for you to, it's about beginning the process of renewing this relationship with your body. It's about first recognizing that you're in a body, as simple as that sounds, because many of us have been disconnected. I know I was for most of my life, I was completely disassociated from our body, is to write a love letter to your body. Write a love letter to your body. And I invite you to write a love letter to your body, apologizing to your body, first to all the parts of your body that you've shamed, that you've criticized, that you haven't appreciated, and then things that you can think of off the top of your head. You don't need to make this a Shakespeare novel. Make this just even be 5 minutes, but just writing a love letter to your body, apologizing and making amends, because your body deserves it. Think about someone that you have taken advantage of. If you suddenly realize that you had been taken advantage of, someone that you really love and care about, what's the first thing you'd want to do? You'd want to make amends, right? Your body will forgive you. I'll tell you the end of the story. Your body's going to forgive you. Because your body's you. Your body's connected to you. I mean, you're not your body because our bodies are temporary, but your body's here to serve you. Your body is your best friend. So apologizing to your body, making amends to your body, and then letting your body know all the parts like that you appreciate. So one of the things that I'm in practice of is I'm constantly thanking my body. Constantly. I was walking Whiskey today and I couldn't see the car, but I could hear a car. And I was like, oh, thank you, ears. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that ability to hear a car, even though my eyes can't see the car. Because I didn't want to have Whiskey and I walk over the street when I could hear a car was coming. And I didn't know how fast it was going to be because I couldn't see it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, ears. Thank you so much for giving me that ability to hear. There's this woman who spends so much time on her garden and she has all these different flowers. And I stopped with whiskey and I was like, thank you, eyes. Thank you for showing me the blues and the greens and the oranges and the purples. Like, I am so grateful. I get to see that you're showing me all these different colors and I get to like look at all the different colors of my lion. And it's just, I didn't never do that before. And so I'm like, thank you, body. And I've been so mean to my legs because I've been short and I used to be so mean to my poor legs. And my legs used to, no wonder my legs used to ache because I was so mean to my legs. I was so critical of my legs because I had short legs and they didn't look like the model legs. And so when I started unlearning hating my body and started loving my body, I started really appreciating my body and appreciating my legs. My legs, thank you so much for allowing me this joy of walking whiskey. I encourage you to write this love letter to your body. Cannot wait to hear how this process is for you. And if you feel comfortable sharing your love letter with me, I would love to celebrate that with you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I can congratulate you for being here at day 3. Celebrate compassion. Take care, my friend.